just waiting for our welcome person. So Reva will be here. You are here. Okay, turn it over. You are here.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to worry you. Sorry about that. Everyone coming in? I didn't hear the bell either. Hola, buenos dias, good morning. My name is Reva Guimon, and my pronouns are she, her, and I serve gratefully as a member of your worship arts team. I am also a facilitator of our adult programs class and anti-racist symphony, diverse readings for intercultural growth. I hope you will join co-facilitator Ellis Vance today for our next session, which is at 12:30, in person and on Zoom. I hope you will join me for a compelling conversation on race, identity, and social transformation. All are welcome. Speaking of welcome, I offer you a warm welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, California. Welcome to everyone on our online church campus, and welcome to everyone on our Alluvial Ave church campus. Welcome to everyone joining us later on Facebook or YouTube. We are so glad you can be a part of today's service at a time that works with your schedule and needs. We are one congregation in many places. The land on which our Alluvial Avenue Church campus site sits is the homeland of the Yokis people. We acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced occupation and the ongoing impact that exists today. We welcome you no matter your spiritual background or religious beliefs. We are proudly progressive congregation, so please know you are welcome no matter your race, culture of origin, or age. Your neurodiversity is welcome here. You are welcome no matter your disabilities, level of formal education, or amount of money in your bank account. Those of us who are lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, non-binary, gender expansive, or gender fluid are all welcome here. We are welcome with or without documentation. All are welcome here. If you are on our virtual campus and want your joy, sorrow, concern, or gratitude included in today's service, just text it to us at 559-337-3772. You can also type it into the chat box, but you have to do it right now so we have time to gather them to share later in the service. Be sure to text your name as well so we know who you are. We have just concluded the first week of our annual pledge drive. Here with an update is team leader Lisa Lindsay.
All right. Buenos dias. My name is Lisa Lindsay, and my pronouns are she, her. I serve gratefully as the chair of this year's annual pledge drive. We talked about this last week, but just as a reminder, the pledge drive is when we ask all of our members and friends to make a promise of financial support for the upcoming fiscal year. Knowing how much money we will share with the church allows Reverend Tim to finalize a budget based on the real dollars that we can all expect. Now, most members and friends have received their pledge packet in the mail or via email, and if not, you can always email us at pledge@uufresno.org, or you can pick up a pledge card at our table in the breezeway on the Alluvial Avenue campus. And if you've never pledged before, we can give you a packet and a pledge card. Please remember, any amount helps. So last Sunday, when we kicked off, we announced the leadership pledging amount, and this is the amount that comes from 45 congregants who serve on the board of directors, the annual pledge team, and the leads of our many teams. So last week, we kicked off with $148,223. So last week, we were at 25% of our goal. This week, as we begin the second week of our pledge drive, I am happy to report that we now have a total of, drum roll, yes, drum roll, $311,025. I'm still not doing this math in my head, but that's 52.53% of our goal. And our goal, as a reminder, is $592,040. So we only have $281,015 left to go. Please, please, please make your pledge today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Now, in our Alluvial Avenue sanctuary, in the chat box, or in the silence of our heart, let's take a moment to say Buenos Dias and greet one another.
I feel like I'm leading a samba line. Good morning, everybody. Wonderful to see all of you this morning. Such a beautiful day. It's be tempting to go for a spring walk. Good morning and buenos dias. I am Diana Ingram, and my pronouns are she and her. Today, I'm very pleased to be your worship leader that will explore the spiritual teachings of Valerie Kaur with our guest speakers, Patty Potter, yay, and Ken Ma. We'll talk more about that a little later. Our minister, Reverend Tim, is out of town this weekend, but do not worry, he will be back in the pulpit next Sunday to lead the service, which will include a sermon entitled, Good Grief, Living with Loss. I think we can all probably relate to that. Now let us allow the sound of the tinja, where we can unite with our deeper self and find peace and sweet calm.
Oh, had I a golden thread and needle so fine, I would weave a magic strand of rainbow design.
Now, if you have a candle or chalice with you on our virtual campus, bring it close as we will be lighting it soon. Our chalice lighting words this morning are by Annie Forrester. Come we now out of darkness of our unknowing and the dusk of dreaming. Come us now from far places. Come we now into the twilight of our awakening and the reflection of our gathering. Come we now together. We bring unilluminated, our unlimited, our dark caves of doubting. We seek, unbedazzled, the clear light of understanding, the many sparks of joining kindle of our resolve. Brighten our spirits, reflect our love, and unshadow our days. Come we now enter the dawning. In that spirit, please light your chalice at home. And Sharon, will you please kindle the flame in our Alluvial Avenue campus? And this is Sharon's first time, so let's. We are an inclusive church. We want everyone up here. Not at the same time. Okay, let us rise now in body or spirit and join in singing our song of praise, building a new way.
Of hate and greed and jealousy, we are working to be free. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with the love that is the seed. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these, this world would die. Peace and freedom is our cry. Woo. There you go, you guys. Great job.
Please remain standing. I did that on purpose. No. While Karen is going to go over our wonderful church mission.
La misión de la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno es amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice.
Now you can be seated. Now you get up. No, no. Seated. Now we're going to see a price drive video. There. We are. We're not. We already heard the pledge drive update, so we don't need the video, right? Okay. This is that special time when we relax in our chairs, so get ready, and within ourselves as we calm stirring minds and we concentrate on our breathing. As we breathe in peace, and we breathe out love, and we breathe in peace, and we breathe out love. And one last time, let us breathe in peace and breathe out love. As we have journeyed through this past week, our lives have been touched by so many emotions. Some may have been very pleasant. Others may have caused you fear. You watched the news. Some may have caused worry or grief or anxiety. With all that is happening in our world, it is hard not to feel concerned, angry, helpless. But here at Universalist Unitarian Church of Fresno, we are not helpless because we have each other. As we entered our Alluvial Avenue campus sanctuary this morning, some of us stopped to pick up a card at the door and shared some of our joys, sorrows, concerns, or gratitudes. And those of us on our Alluvial Avenue campus were invited to share their emotions by text or in the chat box. And this is the state of our church today. James feels joy that we are going to the Poor People's Campaign in Sacramento this Saturday. Claire T. had a fabulous 40th birthday yesterday. Thanks to all my friends who came, and shout out to Lisa and Angela, who made an awesome scrapbook page. Ron S. wants to thank everyone who came to their wedding to celebrate with us. Special thanks to the many helpers who pitched in and helped cheerfully and with skill. Andrew L. shares, "I'm so grateful to be in service on a beautiful day." And Tanya L. shares, "My best friend passed away February 19th at 9:30. Our spaniel, holding our spaniel. May your sad heal." I'm having problems reading, I apologize. May you among the night stars. I'm assuming share your light and peace among the night stars, but I hope I have not butchered it too much. May we all hold these people in our hearts. As we all collectively hold all these words that have been shared this morning, as well as those that lie in the sacredness of our hearts, we also hold our thoughts and hearts, our beloveds who cannot be with us due to health or mobility. Let us remember Sam Z., Margaret H., Bev F., Glenda R., Pat M., and Bab Z. We also continue to celebrate Black History Month. Now let us expand our circle of caring and love beyond these walls to include those who have no one to remember them or to say their names gently with love. For all that has been shared, we light our candle of community. As our candle burns, please join with our voices in singing our call to meditation. There is a love.
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. Hay un amor sosteniéndome, sosteniendo todo que amo. Hay un amor sosteniendo todo. Yo descanso en este amor. There is a love holding you. There is a love holding all that you love. There is a love holding all. You rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love.
That petered out too soon, right? Now, let us join our hearts and minds in the spirit of prayer. Know that inside of us, there is waiting for us our better self, which shines brightly, breaking through to the sunlight. This light encourages us to do better, to feel better, to see the world more clearly. And it drives us to reach out in caring and service. Inside, we have wisdom, clarity, the will, the hope, the love. And all of this is magnified when we are in this community. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Relax. I'm going to share with you a story. And whenever I do the writing of all of these things, you know it's probably not going to be normal. But very few of us are, right? I would like to share a story from olden times. No? Older than olden times. When there lived a young woman named Beth. Beth found herself always thirsty, an agonizing thirst. Yet no matter what she tried to quench it, the coolest and freshest of waters, the sweetest of wines, and the juice from the freshest fruits, she found no cure. Beth was desperate to find a cure for this terrible thirst. It makes you, she didn't have water. Have you ever had a hot day and there was no water available? And do you remember how thirsty you felt? Beth felt that way times a million. Poor Beth. Beth decided to go on a quest. First, Beth sought out a seer who lived on I Know All Things mountain. Surely he would know the answer. Now, seer told her, after listening, go to the foot of my mountain and pray for 10 days. Then leave a generous fee for his service, and certainly you will learn what this great thirst is caused by. Well, our Beth followed his directions, but her thirst had not been quenched, not one drip. Next, Beth journeyed to a famous healer, Dr. Easy Pill. He told her he had just what she needed and sold her 3 expensive bottles of pills. But to Beth's great disappointment, she found no help there either, just had an empty pocketbook. Beth felt hopeless. How was she supposed to end this endless thirst? Then she noticed a flyer on the floor. And it said, "Are you thirsty?" And she said, "How do they know?" "Come to the well." Beth followed the drawing on the map and soon came to the well before her. An old woman stood by the well and motioned Beth to her. Beth asked, "Is this where the water is to quench my thirst?" The old woman asked, For what are you thirsty, girl? Beth weakly replied, I'm not sure. It is just, I don't know. Dear, please look into my mirror. And what do you see? Beth was sad. She answered, I only see myself. Indeed, said the old woman, that is truly what you are thirsty for. To know yourself within you are the answers that you seek. Do not seek the answers from others that only you can know. You will then no longer be thirsty, for you will be filled of your own inner wisdom. Your answers are within you. Seek them in your own heart and mind, and you will thirst no more. May we all learn to seek our inner knowledge from ourselves. Now let us rise in body or spirit and join in singing, Give Yourself to Love.
Kind friends all gather around. There's something I would say. What brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family and loneliness can't hide. You must give yourself to love if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and the laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain and learned to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, I never did know how. Like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and the laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire, it's painted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. And love comes when you're ready, love comes when you're afraid. To be your greatest teacher, the best friend you have made. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and the laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and the laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
Now would you all please be seated. Our guest speakers today are two longtime church members and devoted church leaders, Patty Potter and Ken Mall. They will be speaking about the teachings of Valerie Kaur. Valerie Kaur is the person who initiated the concept of revolutionary love. Valerie is an American artist, documentary filmmaker, lawyer, educator, faith leader, and a member of the Sikh faith and founder of the Revolutionary Love Project. Reverend Tim has presented a sermon about revolutionary love, and Ken and Patty have taught classes on this subject. Ken and Patty got so much from Valerie's revolutionary love teachings, they decided to take her second class. Fortunately for us. Her second class is called Secret Wellspring, Uncover the Wisdom Within. What you will hear today from Patty and Ken are words and teaching from Valerie Corr's class. Let's warmly, please, welcome Patty and Ken as they offer today's sermon.
Good morning. Buenos dias. My life is good. Every month, magically, in my checking account, there appears a check from the state of California with my retirement system, and it's enough money to live on. Yay. I have quality health insurance, and so that's good. And I have a community of people who care about me. So I'm very privileged. However, there's times in life that are challenging and difficult. When I look at the world's events, it's hard for me to understand how people can be so cruel, and it hurts my heart. Oh dear, I thought I was going to be okay. I have a loved one who is really struggling and just keeps digging themselves deeper and deeper. And, that's a struggle. On the lighter side, my neighbor has 2 Great Danes, and they bark. They bark a lot. But here's the thing. When facing difficult times in our lives, the more we build the sovereign space inside of ourselves, that inner wisdom, the more we're able to have freedom, and no matter what's happening in the world. To find that freedom, Valerie Corr, the creator of the class Secret Wellspring, Uncovering the Wisdom Within, suggests to name your inner wisdom within, name your inner wisdom's term of endearment for you, visualize your inner wisdom, and to find your inner voice. Naming your inner wisdom helps cultivate a relationship with that inner wisdom, and this is what Valerie says. My wise woman is called wise woman because I imagine her as an older version of me, someone who is sitting deeply in her serenity and her freedom and her sovereignty, someone who can see me with clear eyes and a heart of love. So wise woman is the right name for me. I call mine wise one. Wise, wisdom, well, duh, of course. And it's like a sage that just is all-knowing. And one, because I want it to be gender neutral and more of a general idea. So mine, inner wisdom, I call wise one. In naming our inner wisdom, some people use words from formal religious traditions, sacred names like God, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, nature. And secular folks may think of the voice as intuition one hears when in a calm state of mind. And there's many names for inner wisdom. As I read these names, pick out maybe 1 or 2 that work for you. Spirit of the universe, love, creative intelligence, spirit of nature, universal mind, creator, realm of spirit, great reality, presence of infinite power and love, divine mind, great spirit, and one that's my favorite that I think we can all get behind, somethingness. Yes. We can name our inner wisdom to be able to tune into it. So I invite you to take a moment and think of a name for your inner wisdom. Valerie's inner wisdom calls her, "Oh, my love." And she says, it happens to be the same name I use for my children. It's a term of endearment that sinks into the fullness of affection and enoughness. My wise one calls me kiddo. I'm not quite sure why, but when we went through this exercise, that's the name that came up. It's affectionate and it's lighthearted, so I'm kiddo to my wise one. What your inner wisdom calls you can be other things. It can be something that inspires you, something that you might call a precious child or pet. And some ideas are sweetheart, my darling, my beloved one, sweet one, my child, my best friend. Take a moment and think about what could be your inner wisdom's term of endearment for you. We can also visualize, an image of our inner wisdom to connect to it. Valerie speaks about what hers looks like this way. Her wise woman, she says, I begin to imagine her sitting regally on a throne of her own mind, on the throne of my heart. I see her draped in colors, shimmering colors, wearing a crown on her head and a staff in her hand. I see her at her feet, a beautiful dog, a beloved dog, a dog I once had for many years, there as her companion. I see her sitting on a throne room that's glistening gold. I see in that throne room cocoa trees, because I love chocolate. My inner wisdom it's kind of like me encased in me. It's the pure me without the mucky muck of the world, and it sits right here. It's not something I can consciously name, it's more of an essence. So your inner wisdom, you can visualize a color, a shape, a form, and maybe where it is. So take a moment to do that, if you will. So we have a name for our inner wisdom. We have a term of endearment that it calls us. We can visualize our inner wisdom. Now the nitty-gritty. How exactly can we find and use that inner voice? And again, here's the way that Valerie describes it. She's with me in the midst of terrible grief. I remember being collapsed on the bed after losing someone I loved and just feeling like, this is unbearable, I cannot bear this. And the wise one said in me, oh, my love, this is transition. You're in transition. You are being changed by this, and who you will be on the other side of this will not be who you were. So let yourself feel the tears on your cheek. Let yourself feel the agony. Know that you are brave enough to feel it, not to shut down, but to feel it. And I will move you through it. I will get you up in a few minutes off this bed, wash your face, go down to the children and be with them. And then I'll be here to let you cry again. For me, when there's a difficult time, I imagine the difficulty and then a scenario of how I might respond to it, and then another one and another scenario. And at one of those points, I just get a softening in my heart and my chest, and there's just an audible sigh that comes out of me, and then I know next steps. Sometimes my wise one calls me out and says, I'm thinking of the situation, and they say, that my wise one says, now, Patty, you know that's not true. Let's try again. And sometimes my wise one is just affirming, and that feels good. It affirms. So sometimes that's the way I hear it. How else can we use our inner voice? You can imagine that you're speaking to a child, a beloved child, and see what kinds of thoughts flow out of your mouth. Or you can imagine it as a friend, someone where you feel really seen and you can be vulnerable and you can vent and cry. You know that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, that you will be loved. You may spend time just thinking. It's okay if you're just thinking. You're just taking the best part of your self-consciousness or stream of consciousness and bringing it forward into your mind so you can hear it better. So if we speak of our inner wisdom as a child, speak to it as a friend, or just think in our mind, the practice of using inner wisdom it's just that, a practice. And when you first do it, it might feel a little strange. You might get little glimmers or images or sounds or a shadow or an impression, and that's okay. There is no wrong way to do this. So, we can name our inner wisdom, its term of endearment for us, visualize the inner wisdom, and find and use our inner voice. The more we build that sovereign space within us, the more we're able to feel freedom, no matter what is happening in the world. And that is what this wisdom practice is about, developing that place within us.
Good morning. Buenos dias. Patty's talked about Valerie Carr's description of the wise woman. Patty's own name for it is wise one. I call my wise person wise guy. This may conjure up visions of a smart aleck or a gangster, but I'm really thinking about a guy who's wise. Okay, there might be a touch of irony or irreverence in the naming, but I am who I am. Wise guy refers to me as lek doi, which in the Cantonese dialect of my parents translates to smart or clever boy. There's absolutely no irony in that name. The little critic is another inner voice, and Valerie Carr refers to the power struggle throughout her life between her wise woman and her little critic. Since I was a child, I wrestled with the little critic in me, the voice that told me that I was not strong enough, smart enough, or good enough. Little critic is Carr's term for what others thinkers call the inner critic, and can be thought of as a voice that expresses one's fears and insecurities, that says, I can't. Author and self-described creativity evangelist Denise Jacobs writes, quote, there are those who, by either good fortune or hard work, are not afflicted by self-doubt and don't seem to have much of an inner critic at all. And then there are the rest of us, we who struggle daily to maintain a modicum of self-assurance as we go through our work and personal lives because of the barrage of self-critical inner dialogue that is our constant companion, end quote. I'm guessing that most, if not all of us here and on our virtual campus, and those who may watch later, have experience with a personal little critic. In psychology and psychotherapy, the inner critic can be viewed as a subpersonality, a psychological construct that activates to allow us to deal with psychosocial stressors that cause us discomfort. It can help us distance and insulate ourselves from a threatening or worrisome situation by giving us something else on which to focus. It can be seen as essentially protective in function, but one that achieves this protection from external stressors by criticizing and demeaning us, pointing out our weaknesses, and undermining our self-confidence. In The Secret Wellspring, Valerie Carr describes the journey toward uncovering your inner wisdom. She did not originate the idea of inner voices, inner wisdom, or inner critics, but she's provided a very useful framework on which to explore the relationship between one's wisdom within and one's inner critic. In a series of guided inquiries or meditations, Carr demonstrates, instructs, and encourages listeners to visualize, describe, draw, and map one's wise woman and little critic. Patty has described her wise one. I've visualized my wise guy as a talking flame, blue and white at its most intense, with varying shades of yellow, orange, and red. I borrowed from Chinese and Japanese ideas about qi and qi and located my wise guy flame in the lower dantan, or lower abdomen, just below my navel. My little critic, who I refer to as LC, has the appearance of Red from the Angry Birds video game and movies. My daughter was older when Angry Birds became popular, so I'm not really familiar with the canon, and this is not to imply that all Angry Birds are little critics. My little critic just happens to resemble Red. LC has a squawky, high-pitched voice and resides in my upper chest near the hollow of my throat. I can feel the pressure of his presence when he's active. He's kind of there now. So once we've described and located our wise person and little critic, how does this help us in our journey toward inner wisdom? How do we train our ear to recognize and listen to the wisdom within ourselves? Here we can recall a central theme of Valerie Carr's book, See No Stranger, A Manifesto of Revolutionary Love, which is, you are a part of me I do not yet know. You are a part of me I do not yet know. She suggests that in addition to those we meet along our way, we can apply this idea to our little critic as well. Attempting to suppress, ignore, or banish the little critic is not an effective long-term solution. That voice will come back and persist, and it can be very loud. Fear and self-doubt will return. Rather, we can work to embrace the little critic inside us, that fearful, spiteful part of us, to bring it into the light and to integrate it into our whole selves. Valerie Carr suggests keeping a wisdom journal to help you develop your relationship with your wise person. This can take the form of a conversation between you and your wise person on what's happened during the day and what's going to happen. There's not a separate little critic journal because the little critic can be so loud that it would be counterproductive. But he can be part of the conversation with you and your wise person. The important thing is that it's a dialogue, a dance between that negative, doubting, pessimistic voice and the response from the wisest, most compassionate part of us. I started to keep a wisdom journal when Patty and I co-facilitated the secret Wellspring classes last fall, and I've made entries intermittently since. I do more often take time to find a quiet space in which to have an internal dialogue with my wise guy, and usually my little critic is also present. I found it helpful in the beginning to use a worksheet that had 3 columns. 1, little critic statement. 2, what is your little critic afraid of? And 3, wise guy's response. I'll give you a few examples. Some of you may not be surprised that I've been a little anxious about this morning's service. In the interest of time, I'm going to combine a couple of my little critic's concerns into a longer statement. No one will be interested in your talk. You'll be lucky if anyone shows up. And those that do won't appreciate it. It'll be awful. So the fear is that I won't be good enough and that I'll be embarrassed and ashamed. And my wise guy's response is, different people have different needs and interests. It's not all about you. You've had a good track record talking about this material, and you've done your homework. You can do what you can do. In another example, I've been more and more aware of my chronic health issues, various aches and pains in recent years. They seem at times to be increasing exponentially. LC might say, you're going downhill fast, you're not doing enough about it. Even if you did, you couldn't stop the decline. Your health problems will take over. You'll end up weak, sick, and isolated. LC fears physical incapacity, not being in control, being a burden to others. Wise Guy says, some of the changes in your body are an expected part of aging. You usually follow your doctor's orders, and you've made some healthy changes. You have good insurance and access to care, and you have a strong support system among your family and friends. One more example. Last year, my nephew gave me a sweatshirt that I really like, and which I wear all the time at home, but never in public. I thought it might be appropriate to wear today, but worried it would be too attention-getting. And my little critic said, you can't wear that. You'll look ridiculous. No one will take you seriously. Wise Guy said, you have 24 Aloha shirts hanging in your closet that are twice as loud as that sweatshirt, and you wear them to church all the time. Wear what you want, it'll be fine. Well, that did make a lot of sense, but I don't always listen to the wise guy. I still couldn't quite bring myself to wear it. I do, however, have a picture. I am Knuff. The voice of deep wisdom that resides within each of us is often deeply buried. And on top of it, there's another louder voice, fearful and critical. With practice, we can summon both these voices into conversation. And it is in such a conversation or dance between these two energies, our wise person and our little critic, that we can gain a positive perspective, achieve some balance, can draw upon our wisdom, and can be braver and more confident and show up in the world as our best self. In closing, I repeat the quote from Valerie Carr that Patty used earlier. The more we build that sovereign space inside of us, the more we're able to feel freedom no matter what is happening in the world. And that is what this wisdom practice is about, developing that place inside of us. Thank you.
Well, I don't know about you, but when I was a little girl, I had a lot of voices. They had tea with me and everything. But I just quickly wanted to say my good inner voice is Joycey, which was my name when I was a little girl. My first name is Joyce. And she is soft-spoken and encouraging. And I sort of feel a little tingle in my ear. It's like the phone's ringing. All right, Tracy speaking. My, what was critic? Little critic. Is my ex-husband, Grover. And he always told me, and he still does, you're worthless, no one likes you, your life has been a waste. And Joycey gets upset. So sometimes I just let him fight it out. Anyway, in any family, we pull together. Some shop and cook and clean. Some work to raise money to support the family. Others may give the emotional or educational support. But all are needed and valued for their special donation to the benefit of the family. Our family is this congregation here at Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. We all give of what we can, be it financially or in service or by thy joyous presence, or all three. All are needed and appreciated here. We warmly and gratefully receive your gifts. Now, with that thought, please join me in our words of offering. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Here's a slide showing how you can make a financial contribution, if able, right now, or if you're on the Alluvial Avenue campus, you can always drop a check or cash into the basket on your way out to the sanctuary. And I think that any of you who would like to see Ken wear that sweatshirt should put an extra $1 bribes on your way out, if that's incentive enough for you. We will be watching. May this church remain ever worthy of the many forms of our gifts.
Caught up in the confusion, nothing is making sense for me and you. Maybe we can find a way. There's got to be a solution, how to make a brighter day. What do? We got to give a little love, have a little hope, make this world a little better. Try a little more, harder than before. Let's do what we can do together. We can really make it better, yeah. La la la, only if we try. Got the words on our minds, got the troubles on our shoulders. Sometimes it seems so much what we go through. Maybe if we take the time to understand each other, you can learn to make it right. What do? We got to give a little love, have a little hope, make this world a little better. Try a little more, harder than before. Let's do what we can do together. We can really make it better, yeah. La la la, only if we try. La la la, la la la, only if we try. If everybody took somebody by the hand, then maybe everyone could learn to love and understand. We can really make it better, yeah. La la la, only if we try. La la la, la la la, only if we try. We got to give a little love, have a little hope, make this world a little better. Try a little more, harder than before. Let's do what we can do together. We can really make it better, yeah. La la la, only if we try. La la la, la la la, only if we try. Thank you very much.
It is hard for me to put into words the feeling of being able to be worship leader once more. It was a year and a few odd months ago that I came in that side door, had never heard of this church, and I just was down and I was devastated, and I felt helpless and hopeless. And I sat quietly in the back. And Sydney Story noticed me. And she asked me to stay for a cup of coffee, which we're going to ask real soon. And she and so many of you have just given me such a gift. And I am so happy to be able to do anything that helps to begin to pay that debt. This church and all of you have given me so much. And those of you who I will speak to in a minute that may be new, and you may be nervous, and you wonder if this is where you should be. know that within this community, miracles happen. You have to believe them, and you have to open your spirit to receive them. Now, please join in our chalice extinguishing words, led by Karen and Troy.
Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
When we say those, don't you get a feeling of comfort and purpose? You know, we invite everyone to stay for coffee, and you never know where that cup of coffee may end up going. And I mean that in a nice way, but going back to the story, right? Anyway, people are friendly out in the courtyard, and it's a wonderful time to share. Now, one of the tables that we have set up outside will have a sign that says visitors. And a warm and friendly member of our Board of Trustees will be there, and he or she will be able to answer all your questions and offer good conversation. So please grab your cup of coffee or tea or water and say hello. Now, from our virtual campus, Reverend Tim has an important invitation for all of us.
Thank you so much, Diana. Hi, everybody. It is Reverend Tim. Wanted to invite you to be part of an important conversation that will be happening today after the service. Reva and Ellis are going to be guiding you, if you choose, in some very important conversation called an Anti-Racist Symphony, Diverse Readings for Intercultural Growth. This will be taking place both on our virtual campus on Zoom, as well as on our Alluvial Avenue campus in the Sanctuary's foyer. So if you are interested in having some deep, stimulating conversation around race and identity and anti-racism, I hope you will join them after the service. I also want to invite you to join me this Saturday, March 2nd, as our social justice team heads on up to Sacramento to the Poor People's Campaign March and Rally in Sacramento at the State House. You may remember the Poor People's Campaign was a coalition begun by Dr. Martin Luther King shortly before he was assassinated. About 5 years ago, it was reactivated, rising up, and there is a national effort, March 2nd, that Saturday, to bring attention to the Poor People's Campaign and the need for economic justice, as well as many other forms of justice. So join us. If you're interested, Steve Sachs, one of the co-chairs of our social justice team, is going to stand up and wave wildly. You could talk to him after the service. Also, you could talk with Cecily. She can get your name and contact information and get that to Steve as well. So I hope to see you Saturday as we head on up together to the Poor People's Campaign. Now, back to Diana.
Thank you, Tim. I wonder if you can hear that. Maybe not. Okay, now let us join them as we rise or are willing or able. Please join hands as you are comfortable, or place your hands over your precious heart for our closing words and sung benediction. Yes? No? Okay, all right. He gave me this schedule, see? He was in such a hurry to leave us. Okay. Listening to oneself as well as to others, is the secret art of healing. There is a higher octave of listening that hears the wisdom within the words. Blessed be, may it be so. Amen.
Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love, in love. Go in peace.
Okay, I'm supposed to, excuse me. I was supposed to say something for Cecily.
We do it every week.
Okay. Have a wonderful, blessed day.